Today's question on askstuart.com comes in from Helen Richardson from Orlando, Florida. I actually spend a lot of time out in Florida myself, but Miami, love it out there. And Helen's question is, my husband Chris and I want to start an online business. However, we have no savings or capital to start. Would you recommend getting a loan or using credit, or are we better off bootstrapping on a shoestring budget? We've worked out that between us we can muster up around $500 per month without having to borrow. Okay, so again, very common question, and like a lot of these questions that I get, there's not necessarily one answer that's a right fit for all. But having started my own business and gone on to support many others over the years start their very first businesses, I do feel like I can give some context that will be helpful for pretty much everybody in this situation. One of the first things I'll say is this, is that one of the things that I've really realized working with a diverse range of people is some people's fear around money is much greater than others. From my own personal standpoint, what I found with me is once I really found the business model and the business that I wanted to start and grow, I had so much belief that actually, the fear of using my credit cards and borrowing some money, even though I was already in debt, wasn't something that really concerned me that much. But I have come to realize that not everybody is like that. In fact, some people, have huge pressure and stress and worries about debt, even small amounts of debt, or what I would say relatively small amounts of debt, a few $1,000s on credit cards and that kind of thing. So I think the first thing is self-awareness, is it going to cause you so much fear and concern that you're going to procrastinate in building and growing the business, and the pressure is going to overcome you? If that is the case, then you may want to consider bootstrapping and just being realistic with yourself and taking time. But I think it's really important to understand that, it's pretty obvious that investment or capital is only going to help you get the result that you're looking to get in your business faster, whether it be the tools that you're investing in, or the support with outsourcing, or whether it be the setup, making sure that you have the right product or service to offer, the right education. I look back at my own journey, and some of my biggest investment starting out was with my first mentor, a guy called Brad. But without his advice, I can't imagine how much longer or how many problems or how many hurdles I'd have hit without having his guidance or his systems to follow. So capital is always going to be something that's hugely beneficial. I think the most important bit of advice that I'd give anybody that's starting out is don't make a decision on capital or the amount of money that you're going to raise or attempt to borrow until you really know the business that you're going out building. In other words, don't wing it. Don't just sort of find money as you're stumbling along for this and that. Really figure out your business. And whilst I'm not a big fan of long-winded, extensive business plans, I've certainly never had one. The internet moves so fast, business moves so fast that, a 5-year business plan I don't think is necessary. But I think it's really important to have an understanding of what you're going to be providing. What's your service? What's the problems that you're solving? What's your solution? If you're doing something like affiliate marketing or direct selling, you need to have an understanding of your numbers, what you're paid on each sale. If you're selling your own physical products, understanding your margins and knowing all of that before you actually calculate any risks that are involved with the amount of energy you're going to give into raising capital, or speaking with your bank, or calculating what amount of credit you've got left on your cards. Another thing I would say is this, is that a lot of people do very well with finding partnerships, in other words, business partners who may be able to bring the capital to the business. If you really believe and understand the business and the numbers, you've got every chance of attracting someone who would want to be involved in that journey. And so if you're really strapped, you have no disposable income, but you've got a brilliant idea and you've got uber amounts of confidence, then one of the great ways to really test that is to figure out if there's anyone else that might want to be involved in the journey. Now, I definitely think it's not wise to jump into bed with somebody in business for the sake of it, just to get a bit of their capital. It would have to make complete sense. What else are they going to bring to the business other than just capital? Maybe it is someone that you have a lot of trust in, a parent, a family member, a sibling, a friend that you've known for a long time. And, the synergy makes sense. That wasn't the case for me, but I've certainly seen it over the years. For me, I felt more confident using my credit card than I did using somebody else's money. But as I said, I think that before worrying too much about the amount, really commit to the business that you're building, calculate the capital that's going to be required to get the business moving. If you've got a mentor or you've got guidance from somebody who's done similar or been where you want to go, they should be able to give you some accurate understandings of the numbers that are involved or the costs that are involved. And then I feel like, and this has been the same with me in every business, once you've got that foundation, that business, that plan that you really, really believe in, whether it's 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000 or even six figures, you will figure out a way to find the money if the belief is there. And I think so that's what's got to come first. Don't just sort of throw money willy-nilly on a course over here, a product over there, a mentor over here, a seminar for the sake of it. Really, really start to cement the plan that you have in place, the product or the service that you're going to be providing, and the model, the business model will very quickly reveal to you what your options are in terms of getting it up and running, the amount of capital that might be necessary or not necessary. I've found that when people gain the confidence and commitment into a particular business or a venture, capital is actually a lot less hard to find. And again, whether it's personal borrowing or a partnership or something similar. But the first step is really understanding what you're doing, how the business is going to work, what the margins are going to be, and then you can go full force. Yeah, just to summarize, it's going to be individual. Some people I know fear borrowing more than others. Debt is more scary to some than others. I think that as entrepreneurs or even new business owners, there's an element of risk, and you've got to get comfortable with risk. And where there's risk, there is reward. And from my own perspective, when I have borrowed money and I've used my credit cards in the past, I've been very selective how I've used that money. But I've always made sure that it's spent in something that's really serving me, in something that I believe is going to move me forward, and it's paid off. So hopefully that's helpful, Helen, and best of luck to you and your husband as well. I'm not sure, I didn't have down here whether you're an Academy member or not, but of course, if you are, I look forward to mentoring and giving you the guidance and advice in this journey. And for anybody else who's sort of really considering an online business for the first time, do check out our free curriculum with our foundational curriculum. It's going to really support you in the process of the foundations of selling online and starting a business from scratch. Thanks for coming through to check out this video, and I'll see you in another Ask Stuart video very, very soon. Take care.